And you are watching Do I Need a Lawyer? And I thank you for starting your day with us. Well, in one of our prior shows, I explained how having uninsured motorist coverage, coverage, is the best way to protect you from the uninsured driver or from the at-fault driver that has only the minimum insurance limits. Well, joining me now to talk more about this coverage is Sarah Lowe. Sarah's an attorney with us at the law offices of Gary Martin Hayes & Associates. Sarah, thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Gary.
Sarah, let's talk about uninsured motorists or insurance coverage in Georgia and how you can protect yourself.
Gary, I think it is important for our viewers to know that uninsured motorist coverage is optional coverage in Georgia. Hopefully, the more consumers learn about the more we'll make a wise choice and add
Yeah, tell us, if you would, when does uninsured motorist insurance coverage become important?
If you are involved in a wreck and the at-fault party's coverage has lapsed or is denied for other policy reasons, then that driver becomes uninsured under Georgia law. This means there is no available insurance coverage from the at-fault party, the one who caused the wreck, to pay for your injuries or damages. But if you have coverage, you can pursue these damages through your insurance company.
is essentially an insurance policy to protect you if the defendant doesn't have insurance. Sarah, I'm going to get Adam Wirt, our executive producer, to put some graphics up on the screen for our viewers to see.
Perfect. Thanks, Adam. Let's look at the first graphic. Think of it this way. Assume a defendant causes a wreck, but he did not have insurance coverage. We would then look to our client's insurance coverage to determine if there is any uninsured motorist coverage. For example, the defendant has no insurance coverage. Our client has $50,000 in coverage. This means our client's insurance company would provide coverage to him as though the defendant had $50,000 in liability coverage.
And yes, there are too many people driving around without insurance coverage or in vehicles that are not adequately insured.
That's right, Gary. If an injured victim does not have uninsured motorist coverage, his only recourse is to sue the person individually to try to recover anything, which can be an expensive headache.
Indeed. Well, Sarah, how do you know what types of uninsured motorist coverage are available?
In Georgia, the law regarding uninsured motorist coverage changed on January 1st, 2009 to provide for a few types of coverage choices and how those choices are made. For policies issued, delivered, or renewed on or after January 1st, 2009, an insured can elect to carry no coverage, minimum limits reduced coverage, reduced coverage equal to or less than liability coverage, minimum limits added on coverage, and added on coverage equal to or less than liability coverage.
And Sarah, many drivers don't know that while Georgia law requires drivers to carry minimum liability coverage, it does not require drivers to carry any coverage.
That's right. Let me give our viewers a few quick examples. Defendant causes a wreck and does not have valid liability insurance. The injured victim does have uninsured motorist coverage of $25,000. The insured would have $25,000 available.
What about an example with an underinsured motorist coverage?
Here's an example. Defendant causes a wreck and does have valid liability insurance with minimum limits of $25,000. The injured victim does have coverage of $25,000, traditional reduced coverage. The insured would have only the liability coverage of $25,000 available to him because the coverage is subtracted from the amount of liability available. The $25,000 in liability minus the $25,000 in equals $0 additional dollars of insurance coverage available.
Yeah, the injured person is not underinsured as both policies are equal.
That's right. But let me show you what happens if you have add-on UIM coverage. The defendant causes a wreck and does have valid liability insurance with minimum limits of $25,000. The injured victim does have underinsured motorist insurance coverage of $50,000 add-on excess coverage. The insured would have the liability coverage of $25,000 available to him along with his $50,000 UIM policy because they do not subtract the liability coverage from the available limits. You would have the $25,000 liability policy plus the $50,000 $50,000 UM policy for a total insurance amount of $75,000 available.
So Sarah, how do drivers know what type of UM coverage they have?
This is where legal help is a must. For our clients, we immediately request a copy of their policy and application page to see what coverage is available for our clients. I would suggest consumers review their policy immediately before it's too late and make sure you have UM/UIM coverage.
Sarah, thanks for your help.
Glad to do it.
Folks, you need UM coverage. Take out that policy. Give us a call. We'll be happy to talk to you about that. The number is 770-934-8000. We'll be right back.